what's up, people? Welcome back to the Over 80 Minutes podcast. This week, I've got a special guest, and it's a bit of a different topic. This week, we're discussing the brand new home of grassroots rugby on social media. I'll get it right. You only tell me about it every day. Sean PHELAN, creator, owner, magic man, the one that seems to do 10 million jobs in a day and still find time to rear an amazing family.
Any of them.
Oh, no, and he does it for free. What a man. Sean PHELAN, welcome to the Over 80 Minutes podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I've never been spoken like that before, so that's all very cool. How are you?
Mate, it's good. It feels weird talking to you in front of a camera, considering we speak almost every day off a camera.
Yeah. It's as you said before the start of this. It's weird when you get to speak to one of your closest friends, but this time it's in a not in a social environment. This is like with the cameras on and the lights on to make myself look pretty. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
I know, you've got the good shift this week. This week I'll edit this one and you get to sit in front of the camera instead of the awful way around where I send you a cringy 2-hour-long bit of block footage and you go, I've got to cut that, we've got to cut that,
yeah,
we've got to cut that.
It's all in good fun, isn't it?
For me, maybe not for you. You're the one that gets stuck. You're the man that deserves all the credit, and I'm the one that was silly enough to stick my face on the internet.
You're the pretty one. You get all the credit.
That's up for debate, mate. There's a reason that our good friend Bruce calls you Big Handsome Sean, and I'm known as Sam from previous company I used to work for.
To be fair, that's how I still describe you to my wife.
That's fine. Oh, that's fine. Don't you worry. Well, Sean, you're not getting away with it because you're not a usual type of guest. You're still going to have to answer the quick fire questions the same as usual.
Sounds good.
As you've edited many times, first answer that comes into your head, yes or no, off we go.
Let's go.
Easy start. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Night out or a night in?
Night in.
If you had to get rid of one tomorrow, rugby or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
You're a psychopath.
I don't have a dog, so... Yeah.
Neither do I. I'd still get rid of rugby tomorrow.
My sons are scared of them. So, yeah, dogs.
Yeah, you've redeemed yourself with that answer there. You've pulled back the cute points. So I'm doing it for my son. Right, TV series or a movie if you had to get involved in one?
Oh, TV series.
What would be your go-to type of series?
Comedy.
Yeah, I can see you in that.
I'm halfway through Schitt's Creek again for the second time. So we watched it once about as it was on 4 or 5 years ago. we're now halfway through it again because it's just our favourite show.
Do you know, I never got into it. I watched one episode and I was like, this is awful.
No, you need to carry on. It's the happiest, nicest, most beautiful comedy show you've ever watched. It's superb.
I'll stick to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's my happy place there. It reminds me that there is like messed up people in the world, and I was like, I'm not doing too badly. That's what I do.
Yeah. So the go-to used to be Friends, but now it's definitely just Schitt's Creek. I think Schitt's Creek was a good place.
Right, if you're having a game of rugby, do you want it to be in the torrential rain or a hot sunny day?
Oh, hot sunny day, 100%. We played a game. We played a game 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was 9-on-9 because the opposition brought 5 players with them. So it was just. So I thought, I'm going to go and have a game on the wing, just because we could play anywhere, and it was just sheeting down. You know, it was just fucking horizontal, and that was the worst hour of my rugby life, and I've broken my leg. You know, this was 10 times worse. It's cold. Oh yeah, hot sunny day any day of the week.
Oh mate, you're a braver man than me. I think of as a forward nothing more than a nice rainy day.
Oh, I'm
nice and warm in the scrum.
I'm a forward too, second row by trade, but God, yeah, give me a nice snooker table track and a beautiful warm day. Beautiful, yeah.
Right, 7s or 15s?
15s. I'm too fat and too old to play 7s.
There's no such thing.
But I love both. But well, 15s is the one.
A day out at the 7s and you'll play 15s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
what you need. A game of 15s in the morning, and then you just drift over to a nice afternoon of 7s.
Absolutely.
Beers with the boys. Right. If you had to pick one rugby ground you could play, just one game at, where would your dream ground be?
I don't know. The easy answer is the stoop. I'd love to play in like America or Japan, or even somewhere completely where rugby sort of not even on the radar. That would be cool. But the easy answer is the stoop, I think.
I was gonna say you can't say Twickenham because you played at Twickenham.
I've played at Twickenham, yeah. So yeah, technically I've played at the stoop, but that was me and a friend. After we won the title, Harlequins won the title in 2012. There was like a celebration day, and all these kids were like lining up, taking goal kicks at the posts. And so me and my mate, who are in our mid-20s, thought, oh yeah, we'll have a go as well. To the point where we were being told not to kick any balls in case we hurt anyone.
No, I'd be doing the exact same. If it's good enough for them, like it's a memory for everyone in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. If you're in a car on a long car journey, are you a radio or a playlist kind of guy?
Playlist.
What type of genre music are we going for?
It depends on the road trip. If I'm with
me, you, and Bruce are doing Edinburgh to London for England.
Then it's classic rock. 1960s, 1970s classic rock. If it was with my wife, then it would be History. Or if it's with my dad, it would be 70s hair bands.
I think you've given a bit more away about your dad there than you intended to with one sentence.
No, don't think so.
Right, if you're trying to relax after a game of rugby, bath or a shower?
Oh, shower. I'm too big to fit in a bath. It just becomes awkward and it's just messy and horrible. Legs everywhere, yeah.
The problem with being 8'3".
Oh, that is it, isn't it? Can't fit in a bath.
Right. If you're trying to get something organised, you're more likely to FaceTime somebody or text them.
Text them.
Oh, see, I'm a FaceTime man. You're lucky. I never FaceTime you because I know you don't like it. So I never FaceTime you without pressuring you.
My mum is the only person that we FaceTime. Nah, it's
not about it.
No, it's because like most of your business is done sitting on the toilet. So why would you want to FaceTime?
I think that says a bit too much about me about how open I am with my friends when I FaceTime.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Right, the immortal question: Bourbons or custard creams?
Oh, what? Oh, Bourbons. To be fair, I could go through a packet of each.
I could do both at the same time if I was.
Yeah, both. Can I choose both at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. You make make a sandwich within a sandwich, as they are sandwich.
Yeah, it's like the special menu in the McDonald's that you can ask for. We've got like a chicken burger and a Big Mac, and it's that type of dilemma. Just have both.
That is why you are one of my best pals for that answer.
Yeah, if you can't choose, just have both.
It makes me laugh about how quickly that question gets asked and how long it took us to record the intro for the podcast.
Yeah.
Because a little bit of insider for the listeners that I genuinely couldn't get it was a 30-second intro we tried to record in the end?
It was the first day of recording, and I said that you needed to go and record a trailer just to get things going, and it was a bit of practice, and we did 3 nights of the same promo, just over and over and over again.
Yeah, so if you
and every time you even if you got it right, I was like, yeah, do it again, just keep doing it again, put a smile on your face and do it again, do it again. But we got there in the end.
I know. So for the people listening, if you think I'm bad at this now, you should have seen me on day one of those 3 days.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's just repetitions, isn't it? And the more time you do it, the more comfortable you become. I
know. We'll talk about this later, but you were spoiled because you had Bruce and Barth and Johnny as your first one. So when you got some random kid from rural Scotland asking, I did
the same with Bruce. We recorded the same just to get you comfortable, because if you're comfortable, then everyone else is going to be comfortable.
Right. Well, last few, socks and sliders, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Not a fan of it.
No.
Like, you never just like finish training, sliders on, boots off.
No,
Oh,
absolutely not.
I'll try convert you. What's your go-to musical?
Oh, I've probably got more than most people. So I've seen Lion King about half a dozen times. Phantom of the Opera. Do you know what I was listening to today?
What? Go for it.
So this is between me and you, and obviously no one else. But I was listening to.
You can see the red light in the corner because now I'm panicking.
Yeah,
I'm not recording.
I was listening to the High School Musical soundtrack this afternoon.
Always a classic.
It's a classic, absolute classic. Great tunes.
What song?
It was Zac Efron, and it was from the third one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a banger.
Now, you see, you're like in-depth fan as well. You're not even like generic original soundtrack for the first one.
No. I didn't enjoy the first one. Second and third ones were good, but yeah, I love a musical. I think the last musical we went to see was pre-pandemic, obviously, but Joseph and His Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Good one. I've not seen it, but I've seen it.
It's a cracker. There's a movie version on YouTube as well.
I think that's the one I've seen
with Donny Osmond. I probably have to say The Lion King, but is that a musical? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a musical. If you mean the musical of The Lion King, then you're all
yeah.
You're all good. Some people say Hairspray, film really, isn't it? But musical.
I've never seen Hairspray, but maybe I will. I don't know. I love a musical. I prefer that.
I'll tell you when you should go see, and it's very rugby. It's one called Kinky Boots, and it was one I never thought I'd like because my old man got us tickets and we said we'd go. And it's all about this old shoemaker, and he's going out of business. And he used to makes high heeled boots and things like that. And he learns that nobody makes high heels for drag queens. So he starts making high heels for drag queens, and the whole thing is about how being comfortable in your own skin is the real sexy and stuff like that. I was sat there for the first 5 minutes going, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. And by song 2, I was dancing and clapping along. I was about 3 beers away from going backstage, getting a costume on, and joining the
You're a lightweight too, so that's why it was only 3 beers.
Yeah, I'd only had one, so. Nobody's told you about Manchester, have they? Tom Lindsay still tells that story every time we're in a group call. Right, and finally, last but not least, sweet or salted popcorn?
Salted.
What is wrong with you? Everybody eats salted. It's disgusting.
Salty popcorn's really nice.
Oh, it's like chewing the sea. Well, anyway, quick fire questions. Sean, smash them. Same as always. Everything you do turns to gold. Sensible answers, reasonable, and there's nothing that's going to incriminate you in the future, so you're all good.
Well, maybe the love of musicals, but
no, there's nothing wrong with loving musicals.
No.
This is a musical-friendly zone. Plus, if anybody doubts you, just put Greatest Showman on, then tell them it's a musical, and then they're like, "Oh, everything I know is a lie."
Well, that's just true. Yeah.
Right, let's get right into it. Sean, the reason I've got you on today is because you have now created the brand new social media and home for grassroots and amateur rugby in the UK and soon to be the world. How did that idea come about? Tell us about it. I'm just going to let you take the stage for 5 minutes.
6 years ago, I was the captain of my rugby club, Rachel Decker, in Southwest London. And we were, shout out. We were really struggling, really struggling. It was captain. It was getting embarrassing having to call off fixtures probably 3 times out of a month. We would have to cancel because we would have 8 or 9, and it was getting frustrating. And so then, obviously, talking to some people, it seemed like the right time to start just a sort of a local group, or whether we can get people to sort of help each other out. And I didn't have a name for it. I had the idea, but I didn't have a name for it until me and a friend, Ollie, went to the NFL and got horrendously drunk. But on the tube home, they've got all the advertising. Yeah. And one of them said, Philly Boots. And he was like, yeah, there you go. There's your name. But, drunk as a skunk, couldn't even remember. And the next day, registered everything, registered a Twitter account, registered a Facebook account, and it was purely going to be a local thing. until people sort of started following it and saw that it was a really good idea, and very quickly it became bigger than just the Surrey area. So where 6 years we're followed by 25,000 people across all the social networks. We've helped hundreds of games be saved by helping them find players, and it's in sort of original form. It was like a notice board, I guess, to try and shout out people. But then the pandemic hit, and it was either try and do something different, or it dies really. And so we started the podcast, and we chatted to people and had the idea of sort of doing the webinars, or these roundtable shows would be webinars on different subjects, but I think more needed to be done. So I created my very own social network, which launched last week, and we're almost up to 200 members already in 65 clubs that have signed up. So it's a social network that runs pretty much exactly like Facebook. It was a blank Facebook, and we can do whatever we want with it. And we've got a really cool resources library, which we're going to start to fill up with information from professional bodies, not just rugby, but accountants telling you how to do tax and what type of tax for a community sports club, and what grant funding's out there, or for players, what's the best supplements, or where can they find stuff out about mental health, and everything like that. So everything's in there. It's completely free to sign up. It's a brilliant bit of kit. I just need people to use it now, really.
Oh mate, don't worry. They're gonna, like you said, you've got 200 members in a week, and you've got 65 clubs. And I met, how far is your farthest club already? You must have someone. You've got followers.
Colorado.
You've got a club in Colorado already. Exactly.
Colorado is the furthest club to sign up already. I think it's North Colorado Flamingos.
If they don't send you a shirt for this, I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, I need to. Yeah, I need to get one.
That would be a real good, obscure rugby shirt collection to fire that one in a conversation one day.
I'd love that. If I ever had an office, I'd love an obscure shirt collection in there. And we've got a club in Krakow that have signed up, and loads of clubs in the UK. It's one of those things I was sitting on for a while. It took sort of 6 months for it to actually be ready. Well, to a point where I thought it was ready, because I've done everything myself. I'm not a trained web developer, but if you sit down and watch enough YouTube videos, and you kind of know a little bit. So I want it to be a hub for everything to do with grassroots, a place where people can come and sort of talk to each other and interact about a certain subject. Like there's in the resource library, for every subcategory, it's got its own group and its own forum, so all the marketers could get together and chat about social media and stuff like that. And we'll set up you can set up Zoom calls within the platform. So the idea is to do a monthly Zoom call with each of these subcategories and groups and forums every month, so then people can chat and share ideas and get just share a bit of knowledge, and hopefully we'll all grow together.
Oh no, exactly. That's exactly why you need to do it, because just even think about it from what you've just said there. You've got a team in Krakow, you can now organize a stag do rugby game. You can be like, we're coming to Krakow, we're going to do this, and we're going to get the game, and you get stuff like that. But then at the same time, like you say as well, you can have a team, you can have your team go, we need 3, not even specific players, we need 3 utility backs just for the sake of a position on a name. And then, so it is, the possibilities for it are actually endless. It's incredible.
It just needs people to use it, because there was only so much time that I can spend looking at it going, this is great, cool, but it's no one's using it. But now we've got a couple of hundred people using it. I can see where I think this could be really beneficial for people. And yeah, and the best of all, it's free. Just come and sign up. If you're a rugby player, coach, volunteer, sign up, and then sign up as your club, and you get a nice, beautiful profile, as if you were, it's just like your Facebook page. But everything's going to be rugby specific. It's unlike Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. There's a lot of noise on those sites, but this is going to be a pure online community that just about rugby, for rugby players, for rugby coaches, for rugby volunteers, for rugby clubs, and hopefully it will sort of bring everyone together and make some rugby matches happen or whatever. So that's the aim anyway.
Exactly. And then, like you said, having a rugby social network where you don't have to sift through your missus, sister's, cat's 6th birthday just to get to the good stuff, get to the results.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of crap, and social media gets a bad rap. But if we can create this community of like-minded people, then we've got a real chance of doing some good with it. So yeah, that's what it's about. Let's cut all the Facebook noise, cut all the Twitter noise, and we just it's pure rugby. It's pure grassroots rugby. Mm-hmm. We'll have some fun along the way. There's the TV channel, which has got everything that Philly Boots has done over the last couple of years, of podcast wise. But we've also got the Women's Rugby Pod, and we've also got Happiness Is from Bruce Aitchison. There will be
going on here.
The over 80-minute podcast will all go in there. All the back catalogues will be on there, and we'll be able to do some live stuff and just be a good destination for everything rugby.
Exactly. I can't wait to do the watch along with me, you, and Bruce, and you get to sit smug as England put 50 points past Scotland, and me and Bruce have to sit there on a live stream and go, "Oh, this is great! I'm glad I spent my Saturday doing this."
Well, we can do watch along, so we can do chats and we can do live stuff, and we can get people involved, and people can interact with hopefully some names down the line. So there's a lot of potential for this. This is obviously, it's very early days, and it's in Facebook isn't what it is. 15 years to take it to this point. So let's we can build something together. Just share experiences, just share ideas and hope share personnel really, because then we can all. Rugby can survive, and the pandemic could have easily wiped out the grassroots game. It hasn't, but there's a lot of other stuff that's sort of coming to the fore now that hopefully this could be a really good tool. One of the things it was tried to describe it as is it's not Pitch Hero, and it's not Teamer, and it's not Spond, and it's not a payments taking website or a club website like Pitch Hero. This is a club development tool rather than any of those, rather than a team management tool. So just come and get involved. It's free. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. It's free. It's rugby, and most importantly, it's ran by good people with a good idea at heart. There's no evil underlying message, and I can vouch for that. As is me, I can vouch for that. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You always seem shocked when I compliment you.
Yeah, not very good at all that, but yeah, it could be such a useful tool for everybody. That's what I want it to be, and a bit of fun, and
it's gonna be great. And now I want to tell. So it's so clear as day that you not only love rugby, but you love the community spirit that rugby provides.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what does rugby mean to you? Like, how did you get this love for rugby? Tell us about your rugby journey, like your rugby career, quote unquote.
Rugby journey. So I started it. As I said, I was the captain of the club Record Decker, and that's where I started. That's where my dad played for a million years. But he was also the captain and the chairman, and sort of did everything. And from the 80s up until, well, probably not that long ago. Yeah, and that's, I used to go training with him. I used to stand on the sidelines with him. I loved it. I absolutely love it. Like, my sister was a big part of it. My mum. It was a real sort of family affair. So now I went and played junior rugby at Kingston for a good few years, and we had a really good team, really great team. And so, some of those guys are still my friends today. And we had Amy Turner, who was, England legend, and she's now coaching, I think, England under 20s. Amazing player in that group. And we won lots of things as an age group, and some of us are still really good friends to this day. But I sort of fell out of love with it, really. Sort of in the mid-teens, like everyone else does. Everyone finds burgers and bacon and women and beer and all sorts. So it wasn't sort of on the radar until I was sort of age where I could go and play for Decca, and never really looked back. What was that, 15 years ago? Obviously, jobs and stuff didn't make it easy, working weekends or whatever, and I broke my leg 5 years ago. So sort of things happen along the way, but I got to be captain for a couple of years, and that was like the biggest honor that you could ever have. Captaining the club that you sort of grew up with, captaining players that you watched when you were a kid, standing on the sidelines with your mum and your sister. So that's really, really cool. So where Philly Boots sort of started, we created a rugby tournament called the Smallest Rugby Club World Cup, which was a World Cup in a day during the 2015 World Cup for clubs like us, that we are one team club. We don't train, we don't own our own ground, we don't have a clubhouse, we don't have assets other than the shirts that we wear. And we had 10 or 12 clubs come down, and Sir Clive Woodward came down, and we had an amazing day. And we ended up putting 2 teams out because 30 odd players decided that they were available that day. But then the following week we couldn't put out a 15. So it's you have those sort of roller coaster moments. You have like the ultimate high, and then you just you're back cancelling games again.
The second you said 2 teams, I knew that was going to be your next sentence of next week we didn't have a team. and a lot of clubs have that issue. So I love playing rugby. It's given me so much, and hopefully this is sort of the last 6 years is sort of my way of giving back that love. That there's no end to that love, to be honest. Like, my kids are now playing rugby tots, and they've started coming down the sidelines to watch, and the next generation. And I want rugby here to be here for them, because the pandemic could have quite easily have not knocked it backwards quite a lot. So, but it luckily, touch wood, it hasn't. No, I remember saying this. I was on all thanks to you, realistically, in the long run, but I was on the Free Jacks fans podcast. Yeah. And they said that they're like, what's the most important thing about rugby? And I was like, making sure that rugby's still here when you're not playing it is the best thing that you can. Because we can all say how much we love it. If we don't give back to it, then if rugby's not there for some kid like us might have needed it when you needed that day playing rugby with your mates, and you realise the world's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's a sport that's given me so much, and hopefully we'll leave it in a better place when we're all sort of said and gone. But right now, I really want this to work, and I really want people to get involved. We can. The community spirit has always been there in rugby. Let's keep that going, but in a digital way.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry. The mic it'll fix itself. Don't worry about that. We're all good. Right. Right now, before we go, to prove to people that you are the king of rugby social media, Even though as you graciously put Bruce and me as the face, you are the man behind the keyboard. You're the big Wizard of Oz, the big green flowing head that's making everything tick and go. That's how I see you. Just Sean is the ultimate grand wizard.
Puppeteer.
Exactly. I've been getting on my superheroes. So you're like the Watcher, the one that just does everything behind the scenes. I want to hear about how you started creating the Fill Your Boots Roundtable, Happiness Is podcast with Bruce Aitchison, the Women's Rugby Pods, anything else under God's green earth that you find the time to do. How did it come about you got all these roles? Go in chronological order and then just see how we go.
Okay. Well, start the roundtable. The pandemic was that. It was either diversify Philly Boots and turn it into the grassroots hub, and it was. I wanted to put on sort of informal chats where people could get involved, and it was live. And each week we'd have a different subject. So we did sponsorship and finance, and we had some really good people on. But there were some really good people from actual rugby clubs telling us their experiences, and and having a few professional people coming on to sort of sort that out and answer questions. And I loved it. Did 50 odd episodes. Spoke to the RFU wanted to get involved, and spoke to the big boss 3 or 4 times, and Steve Granger, and we took questions live and he was given some really tough questions by people, and he lapped it up, and it was great. And it was great. It was a nice little rub for me to be able to sort of get that opportunity. It's on a bit of a hiatus at the moment because I wanted to get this done, this website done. It probably will come back at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. But
TBC.
Yeah, TBC. Yeah, the thing is, because there's no sponsorships and stuff like that involved. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. So moving on to Bruce and Happiness Is. I'd been on at him for a couple of years. It turns out 2018 was the first time I told him that he needed to do a podcast. I met Bruce.
Was that really when you started questioning
the
podcast? Because I remember him saying it on here. He was like, "Oh, he asked me 6 or 7 months ago."
No, so I looked up. So obviously, when there was that social media, Facebook and Twitter was down, and WhatsApp was down, I needed to send him something. So I needed to go into these Twitter DMs, and it was 2018 was the first message I sent to him saying, "Come on, we need to do a podcast. I think you'd be perfect for it." And he got no reply. And that, typically.
He's too famous. That's harsh on Bruce. Bruce replies to every text I've ever sent him. So
oh God, yeah. Normally within minutes as well.
He doesn't like me as much as you. I'm normally about a day.
That's still pretty good.
Bruce, I'm winding you up, mate. I'm just having a laugh.
So I met Bruce. It's a famous story, obviously, now that we've been doing different interviews about different things, and we had the opportunity to play touch at Twickenham during the 2017 Lions tour. Jason Robinson was going to be there, and you had breakfast and watched a game, and then played on the pitch, which was just a magical thing. But I wanted a few sort of people that helped me out over the years to come along, and there was a guy, Jumbo, who came along, Nick Lewis from sort of the precursor to Philly Boots, I guess, called Are You Playing? Great people. And Bruce was one of them. I said, "Look, would you like to come and play?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm there." So I said, "Oh, whereabouts you based?" And he said, "Edinburgh." I was like, "Oh, shit, sorry, mate." And he was like, No, I'm coming. So that was the first time we met, and we had a great day, and sort of we became instant friends. And then over sort of the pandemic, we were chatting more and more, like in the same way that me and you have. We were just chatting more and more, and realised that actually we've got a really good friendship here, and we should do some stuff together. So we did some stuff with Doddy. There was Doddy Aid at the start of the year, and we sort of had this idea of doing like a weekly live show with some of the people that they had involved, and it was just sort of a nice added extra bit to all the stuff great stuff that they were doing. And we really loved it, and we spent time. We got to interact with all these amazing people live on a Thursday. It was ranging from an hour to 3 hours at one point, I think. So at the end of it, I was just like, "Come on, there's no excuse now. There's no excuse not to do a podcast."
You've done 5, yeah.
Yeah, we've done, yeah. And I was like, you're great at talking. So why wouldn't you do a podcast? Everyone else has got one. Why wouldn't you have one?
Did you see that tweet a while ago? It was like, men don't talk about their feelings; they just start a podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. You'll just have a podcast. That's just going to be everyone's life message, I think. Just get a podcast.
Just start a podcast. Man.
Just start a podcast. So we did, and I said, let's do a trial run, and he got a couple of guests, and it was great fun, and he loved it. So we did a few more, and we've just done 50 outputs. So there's 2. So there's Happiness Is, and then there's a sort of a mini series, which is him telling tales of Scottish rugby and his love for Murrayfield and the different parts of it, and just some beautiful stuff. And we've had some amazing guests. So that was it's been great. And again, like, we do it for nothing, and obviously it's not all about making money, but he gets a great listenership, and it just seems so silly that it hasn't been marketed to sponsors and stuff that we kind of thought that it could and still can. But we're about to hit 50 episodes of Happiness Is. So it's really good fun. And you get to interact with some awesome people. So it's good. I like it. And then the Women's Rugby Pod.
My personal favourite out of all the podcasts you're involved with, including my own, my personal favourite, the Women's Rugby Pod.
It's great. I answered a LinkedIn ad from Rachel Burford. They needed social media people. They needed an editor. So I messaged. I knew Johnny Hammond. We'd spoken a few times on different occasions. I said, "Oh, look, I'm up for doing all of the roles that you need." I had some time at the time. And he was like, "You sure?"
I don't know where or how, but you did.
Yeah. Unemployed again. So we started sort of earlier this year, and we did a few episodes just to see if it worked, and it was great fun. And it's turned in from just being a talking podcast to a video podcast in the same way this one is. Mm-hmm. And again, got to interact with some amazing people. It's really great fun. Like Johnny, again, is like you and Bruce has become an amazing friend, and Rachel's great. It's really it's fun to do. Like we recorded one earlier that will go out tomorrow with Shuan Lillycrap and it's the Welsh captain, and it's just it's great to be able to interact with these people, and it's good, really good fun. And then you came along and said, "I've got an idea for a podcast."
To which you're like, "I've heard it all before."
So I haven't got time. Yeah, of course I will. Of course I'll help you. And again, look, it's just a great way of interacting with people and telling stories, and none of this is paid, and I wouldn't want it to be. Well, I would love it to be because I'm unemployed. So I'd love it to be, but it's just a fun way of interacting with people and learning some really good new skills. Lots of video editing and stuff that I wouldn't probably have done a year ago. But I love it, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect way to end the main portion of our podcast, because Sean, if what anybody is going to get from a nice, short and sweet episode here is that you're a man that cares. You've got one of the most beautiful souls I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. You are undeniably the best person at time management on God's green earth. And,
I don't know about that.
And just quite frankly, you love rugby, and you want to make sure that everybody else gets to experience that love for rugby as well. So that's brilliant in my book. So the only one thing that you need to do now before that we send you on your merry way to probably edit 3 more podcasts. And
I said, I'm switching it off and going to bed.
Like I said, I've given you the night off. I'm editing this one, and it will go out. Oh shit! It's gonna have to go out tomorrow, isn't it? It's Tuesday today. I thought it was Monday. I was off work, so I was ill, so I thought it was Monday. It's Tuesday. Yeah, this is gonna be a 48-hour turnaround. So this will be fun. Sean, final question. 3 cheesy songs to get your team ready after a big win.
What are you going for? Everyone's got given this question beforehand, and I should have listened to them really because I knew it was coming. Cheesy songs.
You edit it.
Yeah. So what's the order? Does it have to be in an order?
Your preferred order. If you were gonna go 3 songs to get a team ready for a night out, what songs would you pick and why? And if there is an order, put them in an order.
Team ready for a night out. Can I just pick 3 cheesy songs that I really like that I would listen to? Is that
I feel that's what most people do when they're in control of the bus anyway.
Yeah. Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart?
Great. That would be great on a team bus.
Yeah. Tiger Feet by Mud.
Always a winner.
Yeah, and it's not cheesy, but our club song is American Pie by Don McLean. So that gets everyone singing and everyone going. So yeah, that would probably be the 3.
See, that's exactly it. So if I was you to put them in an order, you'd have Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart to get the awareness of the bus.
Yeah.
Then you have the sing along in American Pie by Don McLean.
Yeah.
And then you've got the sing along, feel good, dance and stomp your feet, Tiger Feet, and then job's a good.
Yeah. They'd probably be my 3, I think.
Yeah, you're in charge of the
I
team.
could probably list half a dozen more that I could.
But that's the fun. You've got to limit it to 3 songs, and you think, oh, I could do that. It's like, because everybody goes, like, oh, I could get The Gambler, and oh, I could do Wonderwall. I think Bruce said 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. See, anybody.
Oh, yeah. He's Scottish, isn't he? So of course that's going to be in there. It's the bloody national anthem.
You know I'm Scottish, right?
I think you were born in England.
Well, we don't discuss that. Sean, always a pleasure. Where can they find this new Fill Your Boots, or where can they find the socials for it? Because I'm going to have the link in the top of the description to the actual.
The link is fybrugby.com. Sign up, it's free. Why wouldn't you? Twitter and Instagram are at FYB_rugby. Facebook is FYB Rugby. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube. Everywhere.
Mate, always a pleasure. I'm probably going to sit and chat to you for another 40 minutes after this, but for the sake of the podcast, I'll round it off. Sean, thank you very much for coming on. Speak to you soon. Love you, mate. Cheers.
Love you too. Cheers, buddy.